Good morning. So, once I started going into seminary, I learned that we do the Liturgy of the Hours. And every single day we're supposed to start off with the Invitare, which is the antiphon that we say that kind of starts our whole entire day off. And today's is so impressive to me because it kind of brings the incarnation into one. It goes, "Come and let us worship Christ, the Son of God, who was obedient to Mary and Joseph." If we think about this, out of the love that God has for us, that he came down and took the form of a man, still being true God and true man, he as God, but in his manly nature, is obedient to his parents. And this opens up so much for us. It shows the love that God has for us. Can you imagine the creator of everything lowering himself to take on our form? That's how much he cares for us and how much he wants to steer us back towards him. And we see this throughout the gospel. Through all four gospels, Jesus is referred to at one point or another as the son of Joseph. Jesus, the son of Joseph. And that's always been striking to me because, we'll hear, Jesus, his adopted father is Joseph. But if we really take a deeper look at it and we listen to the prophets, all the prophecies said that Jesus would be the son of David. David's line was through Joseph. It wasn't through Mary. So we have to understand that the way that God had put this all together, that he was bringing this whole entire family, and this family was guided by Joseph himself. And we can look around this church and see all the different parts that Joseph and the Holy Family is in with Jesus' life and how they shaped him in his humanity. And that to me is just mind-blowing that these two parents, this mother and father, taught God, basically, how to worship. They brought him to the temple. They taught him about circumcision. Didn't teach him about circumcision, but taught him how to worship God truly. How God was the all, that we were always supposed to be obedient to him, and Jesus showed this time and time again about this obedience that he understood, which was love. One of the fourth commandment is honor your father and mother. And it's actually the first commandment that gives you a reward for doing that. You'll live a great life. And, we just sit there and we can see that love as that bond that St. Paul was talking about in the letter about how the forgiveness is and that bond is there. We see it throughout Jesus' life. We'll read later on how Jesus then, after the time he found inside the temple, at the end of the second chapter of Luke, he went down with them and came to Nazareth and was obedient to them. His mother kept all these things in her heart. And Jesus advanced in wisdom, age, and favor before God and man. What this is telling us is what Jesus learned through his parents is what shaped his humanity. And I just think that can open us all up, that we can learn to follow God so much closer that we know that he's always going to be there loving for us, especially during the times that we don't understand. How many times as a child we didn't understand what our parents were trying to tell us, but we turned out that they were 100% right. And sometimes they weren't, but for the most part, they were 100% right, and they always led us in the right direction because they truly loved us. And they always thought they were doing the best for us. And we see how this shapes Jesus throughout. When he was being tempted by the devil, that he was able to stand up. And I think that was a strength from Joseph, him being inside Joseph's arms. Or when even he was obedient to his mother, even when he started his ministry at the wedding feast of Cana. When she said, to take care of this, and he said, well, what is this? What does this have to do with me? And all she did was look at the servants and say, listen to him. He didn't put up a fight or anything else like that. Or Joseph, this righteous man that we hear that always follows his dreams. We hear Mary's at the Mary, when Gabriel comes to Mary or Gabriel comes to Zechariah, they question Joseph. All he does is has dreams of the angel and follows what the Lord has for him, what the Father has for him. So I think today we can really just kind of sit back and look at the love that God has for us, that he sent his son, that he lowered himself to come to us, and that we can fully more trust in him.